Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, how did I end up here? Maybe the person you once loved, trusted with your heart, your life, is now the one who makes you feel the smallest. Maybe it's not the yelling or the threats. Maybe it's the silence, the manipulation, the gaslighting, the feeling that you're walking on eggshells in your own home. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know something right away. This is not your fault. And no, you're not crazy. Today, I want to speak directly to anyone who feels trapped in a painful, confusing, or toxic relationship. Whether you're married, separated, or trying to figure out if what you're going through even counts as abuse, this message is for you. You deserve clarity. You deserve to feel safe. You deserve love that doesn't hurt. Now, I know this isn't easy to talk about, especially when the world around you only sees the polished version of your relationship. Maybe your spouse is charming in public, but cold and cruel behind closed doors. Or maybe it's not even them. It could be controlling in-laws, financial manipulation, or the slow erosion of your confidence over years of emotional neglect. Abuse isn't always bruises and broken furniture. Sometimes it's a voice that mocks you until you stop speaking up, or a look that makes your stomach drop, or constant doubt planted in your head until you question your own reality. And if you've been asking yourself, am I overreacting? Or maybe I'm just too sensitive, let me gently tell you, that's often the first sign that something deeper is wrong. Abuse, especially emotional and psychological abuse, thrives in secrecy. It makes you feel like you are the problem, but you're not. In this video, we're going to talk about what abuse can actually look like, how to begin trusting your instincts again, and what small but powerful steps you can take to find your voice and your strength. Whether that means healing within the relationship or walking away from it. You don't need to have all the answers today. You just need one thing, the truth. And it starts with this. Love should never make you feel unsafe. So, let's talk about the first thing no one tells you when you're in an abusive relationship. It doesn't always start that way. In fact, most of the time, it begins with love bombing. Compliments, gifts, promises of forever. They make you feel special, seen, needed, and then slowly, that attention turns into control. Your time, your choices, your friendships, all start getting filtered through their approval. You might not even notice it at first. It's subtle. Until one day you realize you've stopped seeing your friends. You second-guess every decision. You're apologizing for things you didn't do. That shift from charm to control is a red flag that too many people ignore. Because it's confusing. Because we want to believe the best. Because we love them. But love without respect is not love. It's control. And if you're feeling suffocated, silenced, or scared, it's okay to name it. You are not being dramatic. You are not broken. And you are not alone. When you start waking up to the truth of your situation, it can feel like standing at the edge of a cliff. You've spent months, maybe years, questioning yourself, trying harder, praying it would get better. And now suddenly you're seeing the patterns, the control, the fear. That realization alone can be terrifying, but it can also be the start of your freedom. Let's talk about what usually happens next. Once the fog starts lifting, most people experience a wave of guilt. You might feel ashamed for staying so long, or for not seeing it sooner. You might think, but they weren't always like this. Or maybe I made things worse. I need you to hear this. Guilt is a normal response to being mistreated, but it's not a sign that you're to blame. Abuse isn't a relationship problem, it's a power problem. You are not responsible for someone else's decision to lie, manipulate, or harm. Still, I get it. You might be in a place where leaving feels impossible. Maybe you have kids. Maybe you don't have your own income. Maybe your family doesn't believe you. Or worse, they're telling you to just try harder. Maybe deep down, you still love this person. That's okay. This is not about judgment. This is about truth. So let's make this real. Let's talk about a woman I'll call Melissa. Melissa had been married for 12 years. From the outside, she had the perfect life. 2 kids, a beautiful home, a husband who was active in the community. But behind closed doors, he controlled everything. Her money, her time, her voice. When she brought up concerns, he'd twist them back on her. You're too sensitive. You're lucky I even put up with you. Eventually, she stopped talking, stopped dreaming. She was surviving but not living. Her turning point wasn't dramatic. It came one day when her daughter looked at her and said, "Mom, are you okay?" That question shook her to her core, because for the first time, she saw her reflection through someone else's eyes, and she didn't recognize herself. That's what happens when you're ready. You stop trying to fix them, and you start fighting for you. So what does that fight look like? First, it looks like reconnecting with your instincts, the part of you that knows when something is off, the part that gets quiet when you're being dismissed or anxious when they walk in the door. That part of you is wise. Don't ignore it. Second, create a safe space, emotionally and physically, where you can process your reality. That might mean reaching out to a therapist, a trusted friend, or even just journaling your experiences without censoring yourself. When you write things down, patterns become clear, truth gets louder, and the lies you've been told, "You're nothing without me, no one else will want you," start to lose their grip. You don't have to make a huge leap today, but you can take one step, one boundary, one truth. And from there, things begin to shift. In the next part, we'll talk about what real healing looks like, how to rebuild your self-worth, make empowered decisions, and begin choosing peace over chaos, even when it feels scary. You're stronger than you think. So, where do you go from here? You've named the truth. You've started reconnecting with your inner voice, the one that whispers, "You deserve better." That's not just a step forward. That's a breakthrough. Because the moment you begin to believe you're worth more is the moment everything starts to change. Let's talk about what healing actually looks like. First, it's not linear. You may feel strong one day and completely overwhelmed the next. That's normal. Healing from abuse is like untangling knots you didn't even know were there. You might question your decisions, miss the good moments, or feel tempted to go back just to stop the pain. But listen, missing someone doesn't mean you made the wrong choice. It means you're human. It means your heart is healing from something it never should have had to survive. So what do you do with that pain? You give it a purpose. You start rebuilding the parts of yourself that got chipped away. That can be as simple as choosing your own clothes without fear of judgment, saying no without apologizing, speaking up even when your voice shakes. You don't have to do it all at once, but every time you choose your peace over their power, you reclaim a piece of yourself. And if you're still in the relationship trying to figure out if there's hope, remember this: real change takes more than promises. It takes consistent actions over time. If your partner is truly willing to change, they won't just say the right words. They'll own their behavior, seek professional help, respect your boundaries, and allow space for your healing, not pressure you to get over it. You don't owe anyone forgiveness on a deadline. Let me also say this: you don't need to wait until it gets worse to walk away. So many people stay because it's not that bad yet. But you don't need to hit rock bottom to know you deserve safety, peace, and respect. You're allowed to leave simply because it hurts, because your spirit is tired, because your home should be a safe place, not a war zone. And if you've already left but still feel broken, hear me. You are not broken. You were betrayed, not destroyed. Your softness, your hope, your empathy, they're not weaknesses. They're signs that your heart still works, that you're still capable of love. And next time, it will be a love that doesn't cost you your sanity or your self-worth. This journey isn't easy, but you don't have to walk it alone. There are people, real people, who care. Therapists, support groups, online communities, friends who will believe you even when your voice shakes. And right here, on this channel, you're always welcome. This is a space where your story matters. So if something in this video spoke to you, if you saw yourself in any part of it, know this: your story doesn't end in silence. It ends in strength. It ends in peace. It ends with you rising, even if you're still shaking. Share your story in the comments if you feel safe. Let someone else know they're not alone. And if you're not ready to speak yet, that's okay. Just know you are seen, you are worthy, and you are not alone. Make sure you subscribe if you want more content on healing, healthy relationships, and finding your voice again. You're doing the hardest part already, facing the truth. The rest, we'll walk through it together.